Hey guys, I'm out today at Soldier Lake again, on the opposite side of the lake that I tried to camp out at last time. Now today is not going to be a camping video, but wildfire season officially over in Nova Scotia, and that means I can have a fire. And just kind of test out my gear setup, find a good spot that I can come out to next weekend and do a quick overnighter. I've come to the mouth where the river meets the lake. I think I was attempting to camp somewhere over there last time I was out here. This side of the lake is a lot nicer. Not windy today either. And we've also had a ton of rain, so I'm not too worried about starting a fire. So it looks to me like there's a spot across the river. I'm gonna try to cross the river up here and see if I can get over to that campsite there. I've looked around to try to find a spot where I can cross this river. I think I'm gonna actually just try to get a little wet here and walk across the most shallow part to a spot where I think I can jump across. Fully dunked. Ooh, I don't know. I do not know. Yeah, I don't know about over there. That's gonna be probably pretty bad. All right, I'm gonna stop wasting time. I'm gonna try to go find a safer way around. Somebody's old attempt at shelter. Probably worked really well at one point in time. I am getting stopped every turn I make. I can't get across this river. So I'm gonna keep going up here a little ways and see if I can find any semblance of an opening where I can cross. There we go. Ooh, that's not comfortable. There we go. All right. Well, I really couldn't find a way across the river. So I'm gonna post up here where this dilapidated shelter is and just kind of chill. Came all the way out here, so I didn't want to waste it. I won't get to test out my shelter layout. I will have a little fire. So, trying to figure out where I can grab some wood. I honestly think I'm just going to take it right from the shelter. I doubt anybody's been here for quite some time, and there's not much else in the vicinity. This stuff here actually might be somewhat decent, like that log. I have an idea. Nice. Those are all alive. Everything around here is pretty alive. I'm gonna try to go cut down some of that log that I found. Take out my silky for some of the smaller stuff here. I'm going to use this for my batoning stick. Try that out. And I don't know if this is going to be any good here. Yeah, that'll do. That'll be really good. I'm going to break up a lot of this small stuff here and use that as my base. Even though it's more wet than it was, I definitely still want to be careful about how big this fire gets. Wildfire season's over. I'm sure people could get spooked pretty easily and be a little bit freaked out. I'm hoping that I'll be able to get a spark that will ignite it. Oh, and what I'm actually going to do with this piece of wood over here, oh, it's pretty good. I'm going to get my bushcraft knife. And what I'm going to try to do here, I think, is make a I'm going to try to make a feather stick here. It's actually not bad. Sharp though. It's doing the job. There we go. Just trying to get nice shavings here. Now, I don't want to lose the ones I have. This wood's not really great. Or maybe the knife is not the best. Maybe the knife is not the best. Somebody just yelled. Don't know where that was. Actually, what I'll try here is a bit of batoning with this knife. See if the knife can do any of that. I don't want to do it from this side. Oh yeah. It batons nice. This might be better. This is better for what I'm trying to do. So if I get it right in the middle. Yeah, there we go. Nice and split. And now this will be a much better piece of wood to get shavings off of. That's what I was doing incorrectly. I was using the wrong bit of wood. So anyway, this should now be much better for getting the shavings. Okay. Oh yeah, there we go. Nice shavings right there. Okay. So that's a feather stick right there with the feathering of the shavings. Just gonna get a couple more here. Nice. All right, I like that. So I'm gonna set this up right here, the feathers out, and then I'm gonna just layer my featherings right on top of that for my shavings. But I am going to use my Silky Gone Boy. Probably need more shavings. All right, that looks a lot better. Let's see if I can... There we go. Nice. We had it lit. I don't know what I'm doing over here. I'm screwing around without my pad down. Okay. Let's try this again. All right, I think we need a little bit of help from some leaves. We're gonna do it the old-fashioned way. Just a bundle of sticks. See if that works. Oh, there we go. Yep. Yep. Nice. Nice. All right. Got a little fire going. Maybe. Catch, baby, catch. Oh. We had a little fire going, but we lost it. When all else fails, we have toilet paper. The toilet paper will burn. I am determined to get this fire going so that I didn't waste my whole afternoon in here. Oh, who would have guessed? So we got the fire going. That took a long time to do, but at least it's going. So for those who have watched my videos in the past, you may notice something different about me today. I have shaved my face. I have shaved off the beard for Movember. So fundraising for men's mental health and physical health. I think just men's health in general. So I'm gonna grow a glorious mustache and see how far I can take that. What a day. I definitely want to come back here on a canoe. So, I showed this off in my last video. But this is my new bushcraft knife. It's the Old Timer. I got it at Cabela's or Bass Pro Shops. It was on clearance, and it was only $100. So I thought for an entry-level knife, this was a really good option. So I picked it up. Haven't used it until now. And as you saw when I was getting the fire going there, I was using it to do some batoning. Worked great for the batoning. I had to get it down further on the blade to really get the batoning down. Making shavings did not work as good as I was hoping. So I'm thinking that that's probably because the sun's right in the view here. I'm gonna shift my spot. Is that better? It's kind of worse. It's gonna go up here, right into the smoke. It's a good spot there. Okay. So anyway, yeah, I like the weight. It's my first knife. It came sharp. It came with this sheath as well, leather sheath, which is really, really nice. Don't think that's visible. This sheath here, which is a big thing I wanted. I wanted to be able to hang off my belt loop. So that was nice. So yeah, I think just with more practice, I'll get the feathering done. Like, it actually made a pretty good feather stick there, but probably just need a little bit more practice with it. I did find a comparable on Amazon that I will link just in the description. Not affiliated, but I think for an entry-level bushcraft knife on Amazon, I saw it was like $67. And I don't know a ton about knives, but I think this has a lot of functionality in the knife, and it's a good weight. I like how it sits in the hand with the grip, and yeah, just overall I think it's a pretty durable knife for $100. So I'm just gonna read off some of the details about it, and then I'll just kind of overlay it with some batoning footage, so that people can have it and see what it's all about. So yeah, it's still there. There must be a new version. I'll link it in the chat. So it says here it's D2 tool steel, 5-inch drop point blade with polished finish, laminate wood handle, fitted rigid synthetic sheath, heritage lithograph box for storage and presentation. And then it is an edge type plane. Overall length is 10 1/4 inch, 26 centimeters. The blade length itself is 5 inches or 12.7 centimeters, and the handle length is 5 1/4 inches or 13.33 centimeters. So the Old Timer, it's $100 on Cabela's. Really, really nice knife. We'll see how it holds up with continued use as I do more videos. So that's it on the knife. Again, really, really nice knife. I'm very happy with that purchase. And the sheath is really nice too. Fire's kind of dying out here. What I also wanted to try to achieve today, and hopefully that river's not too loud. I lost my noise canceling thingy on my trail, so hopefully it's not too loud. Hopefully you can hear me. But I want to make some coffee. I don't know if we're gonna have enough heat to get my water boiling, but I'm definitely not gonna attempt to make any food. But I think there's just enough water there I can make a little coffee. I'm gonna mix it with a little bit of hot chocolate, so that's just a little bit sweeter. But this is a beautiful spot. If this little shelter thing wasn't here, I mean, you could probably tear it down. You could rebuild it, make something a bit nicer. This wouldn't be a half bad spot, really. And actually, that looks like a really good spot right there to put my water. Oh yeah, it's boiling. Ready for coffee. Boiling. Just gonna do a bit of that. That was the spot for sure. Toasty. Oh, that was close. I almost lost my drink. Alright, see how my hot chocolate coffee is. Not terrible. Not terrible. I'm gonna add a little more hot chocolate to it, I think. Here I was using a stick earlier and I totally have my spork. Not bad. I was going to make a dinner, but it's almost 3 o'clock. So I wanted to really just show off a couple of the things. The knife was the big one. Test that out. Need to test it more, obviously. I don't know if I ever talked about these pants, but I got new fall Raven pants. They're really durable. My other ones are just too small. But yeah, I just wanted to get out, you know. This is a really nice little spot here. The river's quite scenic. We're up from the waterfall that I was at earlier, but I would really like the opportunity to bring a canoe in here. There's a lot of cool spots in here to bring a canoe. The one that I wanted to get to seems like it's only accessible if the water is low or if you have a canoe to get up to the spot. So that's going to be on the list. Maybe in the spring when the water's high. And I want to get a new canoe, but I have one that 2 people can get in. And maybe that'll be a joint trip with the guys. And by then I'd like to hopefully have a microphone and then also have one of those little stands that like hooks on things so that you can put it in the canoe. You can see like a first person view of what's going on and where we're at and how we're doing, all that stuff. But this is nice. I haven't been out, well, like I said in the last video, almost an entire year because of fire bans and wildfire season and all of that. Even just doing this like is a little bit worrying. Like it's a little bit sketchy, you just don't know. I ran into some people on the trail going down to the lake, and they were really nice, really cool. And they didn't say anything about, you know, having a fire and all that stuff. I told them, like, I'm gonna have a fire, have some lunch, just hang out, make a YouTube video and all that stuff. And they didn't seem bothered by it. So, you know, I think most people understand, and it's within the rules. Wildfire season's over and all that stuff, so. Yeah, coffee's pretty good, actually. Doing the hot chocolate was a good idea. Oh, I'll use this as a poking stick. Burning a bit better here. It's getting dark. Well, not getting dark, but sun is setting. We're getting close to supper time, so I'm gonna head out here shortly, let the fire burn off, just gonna hang out. But I wanted to highlight this bag that I picked up. You would have seen it if you've seen any of my recent videos, my last one, and I think the one I did in December when it was like -10. I got this from Mountain Hardware. Double check and see if there's a logo on it. Yes, Mountain Hardware. So this bag is the Ventura 40 liter. So it's 40 liter bag. And the purpose of picking this bag up was that I wanted to get something that was lightweight, that I could do things like this, where I'm just kind of coming out, reviewing some gear, or having just a quick chat, check-in. But I wanted something lightweight that also made me more conscious about what I was bringing. My other bag, it's my McKinsey 70 liter bag. And so typically what I would do is I would fill that to the brim. But it's a 40 liter bag, can go up to 50 if you fill the brain, and then you kind of close it over the brain. And it has a nice little spot in the bottom for both the rain cover and also your sleeping bag. And this is a big enough spot. That's one thing about my McKinsey bag, is it's very small. That's one negative about my McKinsey bag, is it's really small in the bottom compartment. So I can't really store my sleeping bag plus other items. So what I'll usually do is put everything related to sleeping in the bottom. Usually that's the lightest gear I have. And so I know it's all in the bottom. So that's my sleeping pad, sleeping bag, and my blanket, my insert to my sleeping bag. I was able to fit all of those in the bottom, leaving the entire top section for all of my food, gear, knives, saws, whatever. It has pockets on the side, plus straps where your water bottle go. Oh, look at that. I had some Mountain Man barbecue bourbon seasoning. Could have threw that in my meal that I brought, my dehydrated meal. So yeah, it's got a lot of functionality, which is really, really nice. So it's like my McKinsey bag, but a smaller bag. A couple of downsides. It is really, really, it's not stretchy. So it doesn't have a lot of give to it. I don't know if that'll change over time with it being used. Like, for example, the top here, where the brain will go over over here, it doesn't have any straps. No straps. So this doesn't give. So you can only fill the brains so much. So like, again, probably not a true 50-55 liter filling it to the brim. So that's one downside, but it also gives you nice back support. You're not overfilling the top. You're limited in a good way. It feels comfortable. It fits me. I think it's a medium-sized bag. I picked up a medium-sized bag. And the kicker on this was it was only $40, okay? I knew nothing about Mountain Hardware. It seems like a cheaper brand. They have some nice stuff from what I've seen in the store. It's a decent bag. I think it was on sale. Maybe it was on clearance. I'm a huge bargain bin shopper. I do not like to pay full price for anything. And if I can find it on sale, on clearance, at a deal, and it fits my needs, I'm gonna pick it up. So I picked this up. I've used it 3 times. I've used it 3 times so far. My hands are all janked. But anyway, I've used it 3 times. I'm actually quite happy with it. This is not a sponsored video. I'm not affiliated with Mountain Hardware or any of the gear I've showed off here today, or any of the places you can buy that gear. I want to do these types of videos where I say, hey, this is kind of what I've been using, and I really, really enjoy it. I've been able to fit everything in here. I was able to go out on a trip when it was -10, and I was able to be comfortable, warm, lightweight, not overexerting myself, bringing in all kinds of stuff. So I'm gonna just also read off some of the details about this, if I can find it. So, it's hydration compatible. You can put a hydration pack in the back here and then put your tube out through the pad. It's an airflow back system, which is actually really nice. I do notice my back doesn't sweat a whole lot when I'm wearing this pack, which is really cool. The compression straps are good. Again, not really flexible. You can only really tighten them so much without being worried about breaking it. It does have a rain cover included, which is not always included in some of the higher end bags, which is quite nice. Chest and hip straps, which is pretty standard. So yeah, I mean, those are the big things about it. And like I said, it's got a lot of compartments, a lot of functionality. I've really enjoyed using it so far. I don't know if I'd go back into Mountain Hardware and pick up another bag, but I am impressed by this bag here. So it makes me inclined to say, well, what does their 70-liter bag look like? You know, the big thing that I find is very easy to, like, you know, stick to like your mechs, your atmospheres, your MEIs, REI, all of those brands. But I like to kind of keep my stuff kind of mixed, and I've also gotten a lot of things on Amazon, like my fully waterproof bag, which I use on canoe trips, and that's been really, really good, and I got it for like 50 bucks. And I've never had a problem with it. I've dunked it, submerged it fully in water, and none of my stuff has been wet. So I've had some really good luck with these bargain finds. I love finding a bargain when it comes to camping gear. I have started to expand out and buy some more expensive stuff. Like, I bought my new sleeping pad that I've been talking about, and I'm really excited to use this winter, and that was like 250 bucks. But it's an R rating of like 8.3, so it should be like the warmest thing I've ever slept on in my entire life. Well, I'm just letting the wood burn down here. Overall, pretty happy with how today went. I'm not gonna add any more wood to the fire. I'm just gonna let this go. This was perfect. I'm gonna grab water out of here and dunk it on and make sure all the area around it's nice and wet. But wow, what a day. It's a good way to spend a Sunday. I wanted to get out and do a camping video this weekend, but I just had other stuff on the go. Gonna come out and make a video like this, and then, you know, my next video I really want to focus on doing the whole gambit, having it really planned out, and making like a teepee shelter with my tarp. Like, I want to make a tent with my tarp. My tarp is not ultra lightweight, so that can sometimes cause a bit of a problem, because it is difficult and tricky to manipulate, but it does do the job. So, oh, that one's gonna go. Come on, get up there. Some perfect spots to break this up. Come on. There we go. What a nice little fire. Really wish I had been able to get into that campsite. I was gonna risk it. I was gonna walk across the river, but that would have been a really bad idea. And it seems like every time I come out anywhere, which is probably normal, when you don't know where you're at, you know, I never would have known to find this thing here, And with a little bit of work, you could probably make this shelter quite nice. But I don't really understand how it was before. But anyway. But usually we go places and we know where we're going, what we're doing, how it's gonna roll. And lately when I've been doing my trips or trying to get out by myself, I have no idea what I'm gonna encounter. So, you know, there's always little things that pop up, and that's just normal and that's just life. So, you know, got the fire going with the help of some toilet paper. I couldn't get it to go this time. I've had good luck with the fire steel in the past, but not today. It wasn't working. But there's nothing better than this, man. Nothing better than this. Just want this to burn off so I don't leave a bunch of coals. But anyway, yeah, thanks for checking out my video today. Really appreciate the support. Drop a comment if you like what I'm doing here, if you want to see more. Give me suggestions on things to try out, things to do. What's your favorite piece of gear that you use, that you got for a bargain, or you got on sale, or you just got maybe handed down to you, that you love to use, you always bring it out? I think I was going to mention this, and I'm pretty sure, but I'm not 100% sure, because this is really, really old. But this is my stainless steel pocket knife. So this is just like, you know, shaving like a stick to roast marshmallows on, or cutting rope or whatever. Recently cleaned it up, but my grandfather gave me this knife. I think I was like 6 years old. I've never misplaced this knife. I've always known where it was. I've sharpened it up. It probably needs to be sharpened a bit more. But I think this is also an old timer or a similar brand. I've seen a lot of the same knives on like Amazon when I typed in that brand. But it's been through it. So anyway, I'm gonna get packed up and get cleaned up here. This is gonna keep burning. And I'll be checking in to say goodbye. Make it a soup. All right, that's gonna be good. All right, guys, thanks for watching the video. We'll be catching you on the next one. Take care.